Google's algorithm is evolving and it's going to affect all of us, but in a good way. And you're about to find out why we need to pay attention to our core web vitals now more than ever. Also in this video, I'll explain to you what are the core web vitals and a few simple ways to improve them without getting too technical. But beforehand, I do want to share with you where I believe Google is heading with its algorithm. And it's super important, especially if you have a website or looking to build one in the future. So pay close attention. Up till not long ago, one of Google's main ranking signals was the amount and quality of backlinks a website has. But more recently, Google's algorithm started to use more of a diverse range of other signals that better align with Google's objective, which is to give you the most suitable search results. Google wants you to find the information you need and show you websites that are engaging, easy to use, and useful to basically give you the best experience possible. So you keep coming back. Now, backlinks on their own is technically a very bad way to rank websites, especially if the goal is to find the ones with the best experience. Yes, they may indicate that there's more trust in your site because people are linking to it. But that trust means nothing because backlinks alone cannot measure the experience someone might have on a website. Not to mention all the black market activity backlinks created, where people sell and trade backlinks in order to improve their website ranking. Not only this is against Google's policy, but it also misleads them to rank websites that might have a bad experience. John Mueller, a spokesman from Google, recently hinted that backlinks will slowly be phased out of being a primary ranking signal, meaning they will move towards focusing more on the core web vitals and other signals relating to user experience on the website, which, as you may have guessed, will give everyone more of a fair play to rank on Google. So the core web vitals are made up of 3 signals Google uses to examine your page experience. They are actually a part of a larger group of signals which also relate to measuring the experience on your website. Some of which measure whether your website is safe to visit, if it's mobile friendly, and whether you have too many annoying pop-ups. But let's focus on the core web vitals for now. What are they and how we can improve our website score? Cumulative layout shift is probably the hardest to understand, but it is the most important one, so pay attention. It is a measure that determines whether you have visual web elements that interfere with the user experience once the website is loaded. You can think of it as a measure of visual stability. For example, you load a web page and out of nowhere an ad pops up, shifting all the content down. So it basically moves down all the images, text, the buttons on the web page, which make the site experience not so great. Another example is clicking a buy button, which creates a layout shift where another call to action pops up at the top asking you to open the shop in the app. Now, the actual measuring scale CLS uses is a mystery, as it is probably some sort of scale factor. But if you get a bad CLS score, at least now you know what could be the problem. The largest contentful paint is probably the easiest to explain. It basically measures the loading time of the largest element on the web page. Usually the largest piece is either a large image, animation, or video located above the fold. First input delay is the last signal on our list, and there are actually easy solutions to improve it, which we'll talk about shortly. FID measures in milliseconds how long it takes for the website to become responsive for the user once the interface has loaded. So once the website has actually loaded visually, it actually takes a few more seconds for it to become responsive. By the way, you can check your core web vitals by simply navigating to your Google Search Console menu bar under the Experience category. If you're getting some good value so far, please give this video a like. Now let's see how we can improve our core web vital. I'm going to keep it brief and not get too technical so it's easy to digest. First of all, anything you do to improve your first input delay will also likely to improve your largest contentful paint. So it's just something to keep in mind. The first thing you can do is explore better options for your web hosting server, which can improve both your LCP and FID. I also recommend going with a DNS server, especially if your customer base is global. The second thing you can do is compress your website images and convert them to a WebP format. Not only will it improve your LCP, but the overall load time of your site and user experience. If you built your website using an old template, it might be time to replace it. So going with a new website template or getting it completely custom built could really improve all the 3 core web vitals. Number 4 would be to store your website fonts as scalable vector graphics, or better known as SVGs. This will ensure your CLS stays in check, especially if you want your website to be super responsive. Number 5 is to get rid of pop-ups and widgets that do no good to the visitor's user experience on your website, especially if they are not working well in terms of conversion. This will do wonders for your CLS score. And finally, deleting plugins that you no longer use can improve your website speed, helping both LCP and FID. You must be wondering which of the options I just listed you should use if your web core vitals are doing bad, especially if you've seen all the other more technical options on YouTube. With so many ways to go about it, it can really get confusing. The truth is, you probably only need to apply one or two to get significant results. I probably would have started by testing if my web hosting server is performing well, and compressed all my website images and converted them to WebP, which is pretty easy to use with an online converter. And just remember, it takes up to a month for your core web vitals to update and give you the results. So don't expect it to update so quickly. If this video was helpful and you want to learn more about marketing and business tricks to help you grow, don't forget to subscribe.